Good Monday morning, everybody. We are back. We're back out here where I dropped the equipment off over the weekend. We got about a 2.5 acre mulching job. It's a pretty decent sized job. It's pretty thick. Not too much big stuff, but it's pretty thick in here. A lot of hardwoods and underbrush and stuff like that. Not a lot of softwoods. But we're gonna be trying out a new piece of equipment today. I'm super excited. If you guys saw the last video I posted this morning, you guys will saw the new mulcher that we've got our hands on. So let's take a look at what we got and the equipment, and we'll get started. Okay, got this new TMC Cancela mulching head. This is the TWFL-180. The big difference between this one over the TWF that I have been running is it doesn't have the door, and it has a much lower profile here. It is probably going to throw some stuff a little more without having that door on it, but a lot of guys don't like the door. A lot of the mulching heads that you see, like the CMOF, Prenoff, Sheerex, you know, a lot of those mulching heads don't come a lot of times with the door. A lot of the FAE heads do come with doors, you see, but a lot of guys don't like the door. I personally like the door for what I'm doing for most of my work down in the city, but we are out here in the middle of nowhere doing this, so I'm not too much worried about throwing stuff everywhere. We're mostly going to be working that way into this lot. I'm going to be doing this in blocks, just going that way, so I don't throw stuff out here into the road. So yeah, that's what we got. So we got about 2.5 acres here, and again, if you're interested in getting one of these TMC Cancela mulching heads for a skid steer, excavator, or PTO tractor, again, check out my friends over at CC Equipment. They got a full line of this stuff. There's a link and a phone number and a description in the description below, and you can use the promo code IDIGIT so they know who sent you, and they'll hook you up. So this is what we got, and then we're gonna have to clean up this ditch too. I've got the mini's right over there. And then the final thing will be kind of cleaning up this ditch through here and opening it up. But we're going to start with the meat and leave the potatoes for last. So let's hop in the machine and get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just cut a lane through here all the way back to the property line. There's a flag back there on the field side. I'm going to just cut a lane through there, and then we're going to just start working this in blocks right here and opening up this front section first. So that's what we're going to work on. Let's get started. Okay, we are going to start this video off with a pretty quick little commentary. And I have not run this head, so you guys are going to get my first impressions first. Let's see what she do. I put a good sharpen on the teeth Saturday when I dropped this thing off. Oh yeah, she's spitting. She spits. Chris and I dynoed the drum. She's doing about 2,400 RPM is what she's doing. So the teeth are spinning pretty good. We got a lot of RPM, and she is cutting. I got this big hill right here where they dug this ditch. edge of this ditch what I can. AC is kind of fogging up the windshield here a little bit, so I'll keep this brief. But yeah, this thing's cutting. I'll have a better idea of how it throws material once I kind of get it in a little more open space and can kind of see what it can do. I'm kind of confined in here at the moment, so I know the windshield's fogging up. I will be back here shortly and we will take a look. let's get a little mid-job report here. I've kind of made a block going all the way down. It's not straight, but we've got a good bit cleared in here already. I'm really happy with the progress. We're looking pretty good. It's only 1 o'clock. I got started right at 9. So I'm hopeful. I'm gonna leave at 5. My parents are coming into town from Raleigh. They're staying with me this week at the house, so for a few days. And so they should be there, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna go ahead and start back on this side. We'll make another block, start another cut, and start working our way back. We're down to the property line over there, so you guys can kind of get a sense of the width here. So it's decent size, nothing huge, but it's a decent size piece of dirt. So let's start right here and work this block and keep working our way down, and hopefully we can get a block all the way to the corner, to that corner down there, because it's basically a rectangle. So let's see if we can't do that and get that done for today. By the way, before we get back to it, so far my impressions of this head, I love it. I am really enjoying running this head. I'll go over all my thoughts at the end of the day, but so far I have been nothing but happy with running this head. It's let's just say I like it. I definitely like it. For something like this where you're out in the middle of nowhere and you don't have to worry about throwing stuff anywhere, I like this bad boy right here. Yeah, we'll go into that at the end of the day, but so far I'm very happy. I did have to move these lines. So what was going on with it hanging over here, it was pulling the lines. These hoses are just a little bit long for this ASV. I guess they work fine on Ira's TL12, but they were a little long on my machine. So the way that they were routing over like that, they were pulling the couplers that way, and this middle one, that female, was leaking oil pretty good, especially when you rolled the head back and those lines put pressure back this way. That female was leaking pretty good. So, and it still will leak if I roll the head all the way back. That's not the mulcher's fault, that's not the machine's fault, it's just the lines are a little bit too long. So I disconnected that thing and rerouted the hose up, and as long as I don't roll the head all the way back this way, it's been fine. So that I haven't really needed to do that. I have to roll it. Basically you got to go all the way back and put pressure on those hoses going back this way towards the machine. But I can get it down like this, which is great. So I'm just kind of going in there and just pushing all this material down. It's working pretty good. So, but those hoses for this size machine, if I was keeping this mulcher, I would have those hoses shorten a little bit. I literally watched that happen. I was looking at the GoPro the whole time, and I knew you guys were over here in the line of fire, so I was looking at the GoPro the whole time, and oh, I can't wait to see that in slow-mo. Oh, making good progress. Let's get back to it. All right, it's getting close to the end of the day. Just thought I'd give you guys a quick update, little in-cap commentary. I am loving this head for this kind of work right here. Loving it. It is just eating this stuff down, chopping it down and chewing it up, and I love it. Now, does it throw? Yeah, it throws. It doesn't throw as bad as a disc mulcher. It probably throws a little bit worse than the TWF when the door is up on the TWF, but it's not much worse. It's not anything that would be crazy worse. The TWF throws a lot too when the door is up, and I actually kind of like that for jobs like this because it spreads the mulch out and gives it a nice finish. So this is looking really nice in here, and knocked out a couple of these little maples right here in this hole. Tight. It's a little tight in here. But I am really liking this mulcher. Really liking it. It very much reminds me of the Prenoth or the Blackhawk that I ran with John last year when I was hanging out with him. We were running the ASV-100 out on that job. It had a Beacon Blackhawk on it. And this head very much kind of reminds me of a mix between the Prenoth and the Blackhawk, and I like it. I like it. It's definitely lighter. It feels lighter than the TWF as well. It definitely feels like a lighter head. Machine feels like it's got a little bit better balance with the weight. And man, it just drops these trees like nobody's business. Having that exposed drum like that just takes these trees out. You just run into them and it just drops them. Here we'll take down a couple of big trees, or bigger trees. I'll show you what. Ow! Oh! What did I hit? I swear you can't hardly move in here. That tree was in my blind spot. Looking behind me. I swear you can't hardly move in here without hitting the tree. So I'm going to take out these little trees right here, and I'm just going to drive forward, and I mean, it's going to cut them before the push bar hardly even gets to it. So the trees are cut, and then the push bar pushes them over. Well, that one's hung up. Crap. Let me see if I can take out this one. It'll fall. There they go. There's just nothing. It just drops them like butter. to it. Easy breezy. Making mulch. I mean, it's making mulch just as good and just as fast as the TWF. So not a concern there at all. And we're cutting hard. This is all hardwood. All this is hardwood. These are gums, hickories, red maples, holly trees. That's all this is. We've cut a few pines, but not many. Hardwoods, and it is just turning them into beautiful mulch. So if that was a concern, because I read a couple of comments in the video, the last video I posted up when I dropped it off, a few people were concerned that it might not make mulch like the other one does because it doesn't have as many rows of counter cutters, and that could not be further from the truth. I mean, it's just, that's beautiful mulch. Spitting it out. There's no big chunks in that at all. It's all just little pieces. All little pieces. It's getting to be about that time. I'm gonna about wrap this up here in just a minute, and I'll put a sharpen on these teeth before I leave. And then the neighbor down here on the corner, he saw me over here and he was like, "Man, you know what you're doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of do this every day, just about." And he's like, "I got some work for you to bid on." And I was like, "Okay." Well, we're gonna go down there and look at his house and see what he wants done. That'll be about the day. Hope you guys are having a good Monday. So far, so good in here today. It's been a good Monday. We got a lot done in here today. I'm very happy with the progress. So. We'll take a look here in just a minute. Stay tuned. right, guys, we are getting it. We are getting it. It is about that time. I'm gonna put a quick sharpen on the teeth before I go. So they still look pretty sharp. I'm gonna touch them up just a hair. Actually, I don't know, they still look really sharp. That's like still really sharp. Huh. No, maybe I won't. That's a really good edge right there. And we didn't hit any trash or brick or anything in here. And I mean, not a one of them's got a nick on it. That's a good edge. Huh. Maybe I won't. Well, regardless, I'll show you guys really quick. So we got this ditch back here. That ditch. And then that little pink flag right there is the property line, the backside line, but the back, well, I said that's the right side. That's the right side. And then the back side is just on the other side of this ditch. There's a little pink ribbon right through the woods through there. But it's just on the other side of this ditch is the property line. So really this just block right here, that block and that little bit along the ditch there, and I'll come through here and clean this up too. Through here is all we really got left to do. Oh, look at there. I didn't even see that tree stand. That's new. Huh. So that's what we got. Now I got that block right there, but we got a good chunk of ground covered in here today. I'm really happy with the production. I got a few little things to clean up in here between the trees and stuff, but to get all that hogged out today in about 7.5 hours, I'm pretty happy with that. Very happy. So, cause I got the block. We'll walk to the front. So here's the front. So this block right here really isn't of a full block because, so that line is pretty straight all the way down through there. But I've already done the front section of that block all the way to the right side property line. So really we got probably 60-65% of this job of the skid steer work done today in 7.5 hours. I'm really happy with that production. Really happy. So yeah, that's kicking some ass right there. So overall, I am loving this mulcher. I really am. I had a blast in here running it today. My only aggravation was working around all these doggone trees. But other than that, I had a blast running this thing. It was awesome. Does it throw stuff? Yeah, it throws. Is it as bad as a disc mulcher? No. I think it's maybe a little bit worse than the TWF when the door is up, but not by a whole lot. And the reason it throws so much is because this lip is set so far back. But when you're in here out in the middle of nowhere and you don't have to worry about it, I love it because you can just plow into these trees and it just cuts them down. It cuts them and the push bar pushes them over, and it's very efficient. It's very easy on the mulcher. It's easy for the operator. You just drive forward, it just does the work. So I really do like it. It's definitely lighter. It balances on the machine a little better. The machine definitely handles the weight a little better. It definitely feels a little more balanced. I don't know exactly what the weight is. We were doing 2,400 RPM and she was chewing this stuff up in here. This is all hardwoods. We maybe cut down just a few pines, but all of this is just hollies, red maples, these swamp magnolias, gum trees. I mean, it's a hardwood nightmare in here. So, but this thing right here spits fire. Shoot, that's I was thinking about the nickname for this thing. I think it's gonna be Spitfire. I like it because we already got Munchie and Big Munchie, Little Munchie and Big Munchie, but I think this thing, I like Spitfire. I don't know, I think that's kind of cool because it definitely spits stuff out. But yeah, if you don't mind it throwing some stuff, this is a great head. So All right, I'm gonna clean this thing off and get it blown up, cleaned up. I don't think I'm gonna touch the teeth because I don't think they need it. And we'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned. Bye, everybody.